Hey, we are live. What's going on, guys? In case you are wondering who I am, my name is Antonio Bryce. I am the creator of the comic book series brand. We are currently on Indiegogo. Over $73,000 raised thanks to the kindness of folks such as yourself. If you want to read brand, you can check out the first 21 pages right now in the description for free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Just check it out in the description there, or go to the Indiegogo link and you can read it there as well. But I have another independent comic creator right here making his second appearance here on the channel. I had him here, what was it, last year? He had a project called Layer that looked really, really cool. And he's gone on to fund a few other projects. There was a book called, what was it, Pistolera?
Yeah, did my first Western, got that out of the way. Thankfully was able to fund that. And then now I got I'm hitting the anthro scene with Galactic Rodents of Mayhem.
All right. Okay, so now I gotta ask, because that's it kind of reminds me of when I got to interview Doug TeNapel, and I was asking him, he's got all the different books and they're all different. You might have similar themes and stuff, but you go from Lair, and then you go to Pistolera, and now you got the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem.
I'm out there, dude. I want to say thank you again for having me on the show, because the first time I came on here, for me, that was the first time ever doing like a live stream, and I'm getting hooked in with a power player like yourself, and it was fun. I mean, it was very fun. The energy we had was good. We're talking about Lair. It was a dark book, but yeah, to answer your question is like go from Lair, which is dark, supernatural, spiritual horror type thing, and then to segue into a Western is just like okay. And especially one that features a female pregnant gunslinger. That's something that's kind of like not been done, or just like a out there idea. And then now to just go into sci-fi with the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, I kind of think of it as like Saturday morning cartoons in like a comic book form. That's kind of what I'm trying to go with this one.
Okay. All right. So, look, I mean, it looked really interesting. I noticed, and your artist. I will say this: I thought your artist was dope on this. I was really digging that. So I thought, well, first of all, let me see. Can I pull this up? I want to actually show your campaign.
Okay, cool.
And because I see you have already, you're on your way. It looks like.
I'm trying, dude. That's one thing. I'm scrappy, dude. I literally came from like no connection, nothing, just trying to grind out a comic book, and I did that with Under the Flesh on Kickstarter. Then I did Lair on there. Then I jumped on Indiegogo, which I like better than Kickstarter. I think it's more friendly to the creators, especially when it comes to the processing fees and all that. Because I've been hit hard in past campaigns where you just have some pledges that just fall out and don't process, and that kind of hits your bottom dollar. But Indiegogo has been really good, and I think I like the platform. And yeah, so with this one, I'm just trying to do something different, man. I can't say it's different, right? When it looks kind of like, I don't know. I mean, put it like this: I'm trying to take everything that I remember that was fun for me growing up. Comics, cartoons, all that kind of thing, and I'm trying to twist it into something fresh, but making it known that it's inspired by the good old stuff. So I got a lot of love for the Ninja Turtles, Star Wars. It's like a mashup of all this type of stuff, and you got capybara bounty hunters. Capybaras are the animals. They're like the largest rodents in the world. They swim underwater. They hold their breath up to 5 minutes, and they get along with every single animal you can think of, even crocodiles, except snakes are their natural predators. But so I thought it looked like a fun, just to bring the fun back in comics, man, especially considering how things are politically.
Now, I saw this. Now, this is when I like looking at stuff like this. First of all, very, very clean art.
I think.
Very excellently illustrated. I really like that. This is a lot of times. That's one thing I would say. Some people ask to come on, and I don't feel the projects have cooked long enough. If I'm being honest, and I see that this is what a comic should look like. You got a good logo up here. The nice cover here. Very nice. See what I'm saying? I just love this. Great colors. I mean, this is the way I think comics should look. Even indie comics. I know indie comics, they a lot of times like, well, it's indie. You can just like, no, I mean, I want my book to look like anything that you'd see from Marvel or DC in their prime, I'll say. So, I just, but I really, really dig how this looks. So tell me about your artist. Oh, no. Wait a minute. It appears I have, let me see. Can I get him back? Hold on. Can I get Mr. Deltrez back? That's not good. Okay. Well, hi guys. Oh, okay. Hold up. He's coming back. Okay.
Man, you got me?
Okay. Yeah. I was like, what happened? I didn't know what happened. I was like, okay.
Like right when things are getting interesting, it's like, like what's going on? All right. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
I just wanted, I was like, hey, welcome to Boomer Stream. All right. But yeah, this is okay. So we're going back into, let me do the screen here again.
Yeah, man.
And
no
hopefully I won't lose you this time.
I hope not, dude. I'm crossing my fingers here.
Yeah, we was getting into the nitty gritty.
Dude, I was feeling the blood pump.
All right. So, all right, it's sharing.
Okay.
You're still with me.
I'm here, I believe.
Okay.
All right, cool. I think I'm here. All right.
All right. Shinto Ketchup, you lost him, dear Lord. And I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like Medea. Oh Lord. Yeah. So here we go.
Oh man.
But yeah, like I said, beautiful colors here. Nice, clean artwork. Great trade dress on here.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about your art team, because your art team is fantastic on this. So tell me about your artist.
All right, so I'm working with Sebastian Navis. I was able to work with him on Lair, and he did all the line work on Lair.
I like the art on Lair. Okay.
Yeah, and he's pretty much like this. The capybaras, I'm not gonna take credit. That was his idea. When we're thinking about doing fun, we're like, we got to do an animal. I want to do anthropomorphic. I'm thinking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mixed with like Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars. He's like, but the whole thing is, what's the animal? What are we gonna use? He came out of left field with capybara. Now, Antonio, I don't know if you heard of a capybara before. I had never heard of a capybara. I had to Google it, but this was how he sold me on it. He's like, they're the most chill animal on the planet. That was literally what he said. And he said they get along with every animal. I Googled it and I saw it. I'm like, dude, forget about it. So because of that brought the fuel. That gave the adrenaline. That, like, if it wasn't capybaras, this book wouldn't even exist. So he's doing that awesome line work. And he is inspired by a lot of the greats. And our book is going to be a little bit bigger than normal comic book size. We're going, I think, 9.5 by 11.5, just to have more panel real estate. Yeah, it's like I want to get cinematic almost. I just want people to get lost in this stuff. So it's going to be really nice, especially with the artwork we have. The colorist is Tiago Barca. He was a referral because our original colorist on Lair couldn't commit. He has some health issues and stuff going on. As Davi Komodo, we're hoping he gets better. But the colorist we have now is Tiago Barca. And he's done some work with The Few and the Cursed, which is a supernatural Western that's been crowdfunding pretty successfully on Kickstarter. And we got him to do the line work. To do the color work. And as you can see, he definitely brings something to the table. And then for the letters, I have the Davison who I work with on Lair. So it's just pretty much the core team is back, except with a new powerful colorist. But we're trying to bring something fun, man. Like literally fun is what I was thinking.
Well, your colorist is dope. I'm telling you right now. Trust me, I am super picky about colors.
Yeah.
I tried out a couple of, when, things started to happen and, spotlight started coming on me. I had one colorist, did not want to be affiliated with CG. So I had to find another colorist. So
annoying.
I tried. Well, I mean, it happened, and so I understand that, this is someone that was actually, doing some mainstream work and getting steady jobs, and there are consequences sometimes for being down with the team. So I started trying out different colorists, and man, I couldn't find anybody. I tried out some really good colorists. I think Kelsey Shannon had given me some names, and John Malin gave me a couple referrals to look at. And then we just, I was looking on like DeviantArt and all this kind of thing. And we happened to stumble upon the man, the myth, the legend, who is coloring brand Kid Icarus. I was seeing that.
Where is he? Has he done anything else before? Because the name caught me. Because when I was checking out the credits, I'm like, Kid Icarus. I'm like, okay, I see where he's coming from. It looks pretty damn good.
He's got some published credits, but he didn't want to. He was like, I like the book, I like the art, I like to color it, but I don't want any blowback. So I understood that. So that's he came up. I said, well, what do you want me to call you? He said, call me Kid Icarus.
Oh, that is beautiful. Now I got you. Even now, there's double impact right there.
So we changed the name up once he decided he wanted to do it, because we tried out a few after our colorist dropped out. We tried out a few people, and I'd get the colors would be okay, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't what I wanted. Yeah. And Kanan's real funny style about who colors him, I've noticed. It's like, and I see sometimes, people will tweet fan art, or like they'll take, if you follow him on Twitter, he'll be like, hey, art dump or whatever, and he'll tweet out a couple of pictures or whatever, and someone will take it like, look, I colored this. And sometimes sometimes it looks okay, and a lot of times, I mean, like I said, I understand people are practicing, and it's just like, it's not professional.
But like, he might be like, hey man, you got to know when to share it, if you you know what I mean.
My thing with Kanan is I always get I said, Kanan, you say everything's great. I was like, sometimes being honest is true. I don't know.
Sometimes I get you. Sometimes you have to be honest, but I guess in his sense, maybe he sees that people are actually getting some good coloring work, at least if it's not great, but at least it's just that they're getting some stuff done, inspired too by his lines too. So I can see why he's not gonna,
there was something that happened. It was something happened about 4 or 5 months ago, and we were having Icarus color something for us, and he had posted the art, and someone took it and they colored it, and it was like, it was a butcher job. And at that point, I had already gotten the actual colors back from Icarus, and they were stunning.
Oh man!
And then so I was like, oh God! I was like, there was so many things I saw on it, and I was like, this is kids, do not try this at home. I mean, I can see, it's like my colorist, not only is he excellent, this one thing I can speak on. I think Christopher Rue had wanted, he hired Kanan. Well, first of all, Kanan hired me to be his art rep. So like when people want commission from Kanan, they go through me and we negotiate.
That's badass. Yeah,
and so badass. One of the first ones we set up was for Christopher Rue for Iron Skies, and he did that cover for him. And he was wanting Kyle Ritter to color, the art. And I think Kyle was just, I think Kyle was getting ready to launch Starblades and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it was just too much. It's like he just couldn't. And he was like, well, what about? I was like, well, we can have our colorist do it. Icarus saw it, and he was like, yo, he's like, this is dope. Let me, I'll color this cover. and then obviously, Mr. Rue paid him
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and it was what was so funny is that after, we posted the cover,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle saw it and he was like, that looks great. Who's the color? So I didn't like,
praise.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Kyle is obviously a dope colorist, so I really dug that, because but like I said, my guy's like colored like professionally for like 13, 14 years now. Yeah, he's got a lot of published comic work under his belt. So, but but everybody I tried out was pros except for one that I just seen like on Instagram and DeviantArt, just trying. And like I said, these are nice, clean colors. I like the computer effects. So the colorists can really, really take something good and make it great. And like I said, I already liked your art style here. The book looks really fun. I can understand why you, like I said, you've already over $3,000 on this book so far. And I mean, yeah, it's nice. What about your letterer? Your letters look real good on it.
Yeah, man. And that's some Davison. He's done. He works out of Brazil. He has his own little web comic that he does. It's called Sidereal Justice. And I believe he does a lot of crowdfunding projects. And I want to believe he does have some pro credits to his name. But the thing about pro, what he told me is just that the deadlines are just too much. It's just like, so he likes to work at a more comfortable pace, and that's where he tackled crowdfunding. But basically the project is pretty much to finance this team, because we do got some juggernauts here, and it's my most ambitious crowdfunding goal ever. Lair, I think when I did it on Kickstarter was 10K, and now this one is 15K. But that's just to finance a small print run of the book. I'm going by my Lair backers and my Pistol Letter backers, like that audience, and basically the lines and the colors across. Again, this was my bad, 104 pages. So I mean, if I was able to squeeze a 40-something page book, we would have probably had a smaller goal. But when I was writing everything and trying to put everything together, for the life of me, it wasn't meshing to cram it up in 40 pages. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I got to tell this whole big chunk. It's almost like when you binge watch a show on Netflix, even me writing is like, no, I got to do a bigger chunk. I just have to. And just the way everything was coming to me, it tailed out at 104 pages. So I'm like, then that's what it's going to be. And, I'm just go big or go home. So I'm going big. I ain't trying to go home yet, but hopefully we get some more eyes on it. And
wait a minute, hold up! I just see something here. Is this from the homie Sashi? Is this right here? Okay.
Yeah, Miss Sashi. I love her work, and I wanted to do a little spin with our little capybara girl right there. I want to go with a little femme fatale look, and she nailed it.
My former co-host on Sexy Party. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was able to get on that, which was pretty cool. And yeah, all in all, the book is just it's what I'm trying to take into consideration, just being fun. Now with that
concept art here, everything looks really, really cool, man. I'm digging this.
And with that being, hitting on that fun angle, I want to say that we got a dark story though. It's like it's fun, but we don't hold back. It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get very deep as far as emotion and everything.
You mean dark is in violent, or is there like
they'll be violent, dark and violent? Put like this, I kind of want to recapture the grit that I feel is like it's being lost in. I don't want to say mainstream, but like if you look at Star Wars, it had a grit to it when it first came out, like A New Hope. It was some grit to it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that Mirage run, Shredder got killed in the first, comic in the first issue. Like they wouldn't hold back. The Turtles, they're cutting people, killing people. It's just, I want to just show like, hey, you can be true to your vision and still crank out a great story and still make it emotional, still have the readers connect with the characters, but still not lose, the edge. And that's what I want to bring with this book, to show like, hey, this is that teen rating is like borderline teen. But
I gotta tell you, Gilbert, this looks fantastic, man. I gotta tip my hat to you. The book looks fantastic, dude. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to snag a copy of this. I'm digging it, man. This is great.
I'm trying, dude. That's all. I'll put like this. My grind is to not ever stop. Crowdfunding has been my lifeblood, and that's just all I'm gonna do. And when I could connect with with a good audience and good people, just that relationship with the backers, I wanna foster that, and I want to grow on that. I know you mentioned something about CG and how you lost a potential colorist. In there, I've even had situations where I kind of don't want to say it could be CG, but it's like no other choice. What else could it be? Because I had one guest artist that was going to do a pinup with Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, and we even spoke, and he was okay with including his involvement as a promotional piece to the campaign. And then literally from one day to the next, he was saying he was having trouble drawing the capybaras. It was kind of difficult or whatnot. I sent them a tutorial video because Sebastian kind of as like a promo piece, he was drawing out the capybaras, and he'd put a little commentary through subtitles. So I put into a video. I put it on my YouTube. So I sent that to him. I'm like, hey, you had trouble drawing the capybaras? Guess what? This will help you out. And then he responded literally today. He's like, hey, man, listen, I've been meaning to write to you, but I ain't going to be able to do the book. The capybaras are my kryptonite, pretty much. And in my opinion, any great artist, and this is a legendary artist I'm talking about, and has connections to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. I kind of wanted to, build on that. But either way, I can't. It was a missed opportunity, I guess. But somehow there's a stigma. I feel like I don't know if people just check on my Twitter feed, and I got some CG tags in there. I'm never going to stop using CG. I know there's with the beef going on, and I it's hard for me to keep up with that. But I love the ideology, and I love what they're doing. And for me, it was fun seeing like another force going at mainstream with top quality heavy books. And the stuff I see getting put out of Indiegogo, it shows you that they're a force. And I just want to, hey, I know I don't got publishing fame, and not for the lack of trying. I know I don't have any big two industry, but I just want to show that I have a knack for putting together creative teams and putting together good quality artwork and pro looking stuff. And that's what I want to bring eventually to the table. And hopefully I won't get much stigma, but it happens,
Well, my thing is, I think you got something special here, and or in something like what I've got going with Brand. I think this is something you don't need to be mainstream, and this community clearly shows that they buy comic books. So, as long as you continue to take care of your customers and build that audience, man, you should be able, because I'm like I said, this looks fantastic. This book everything is top notch on it, the colors, everything. So let's actually get into your perks, man, because I was like, let's see what you can get here. So you got your featured perk here, the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem Collector Edition. Okay, so let me see what all you get for $40. What's your shipping like on all this? Uh-oh. Gilbert? Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me see. Can I get him back? Let's see. Can I get Gilbert back? Gilbert? Hello?
Hello. I think I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
this is like a pop in and disappearing act. Yeah, I don't know where I got cut off at. So
yeah, because I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Maybe the internet connection is wonky, but I was starting to go into your perks here, and
right.
Your featured perk.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what's your shipping like on this for $40 here? You get the physical copy, the digital edition. You get the Mona Lisa pinup poster and the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem MP3 theme song.
Yeah, I don't know if you're big on Saturday morning cartoons. So if I'm big on that, you got to back it up with some music. So we actually do have a theme song, and everyone that backs at that tier will definitely get a theme song. And if we're fortunate enough to reach stretch goals, everyone who backs at that tier will get like a full soundtrack, because all we got now is a theme song and like a symphonic track. So everyone will get that, but we're hoping we can get a full soundtrack out. But yeah, the theme song is catchy. I've been told that it's catchy. I've been told that it sticks in your head. I've been told that.
Well, okay, so what's your okay, so for this 40, what's your shipping running like?
Okay, so for this one, it should be, I think, $10 shipping, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I want to say 20 for international. So I wanted to go a little bit lower with the shipping, but then again, when I factored in the the gold. The 15 is covering pretty much the printing. It's covering the artwork, and the shipping is not fully covering that. So I'm gonna have to take a hit on that.
Okay,
So
I got you.
it's like sometimes you got to do that. It's like worth the risk. So I'm like, if we could, like, say we just fund literally just 15, shipping is going to be mostly coming out of my pocket. But if we can get some stretch goals and we can start adding some cool stuff in, we could kind of even out and equalize, and we could kind of gain some traction in that end. But we're looking at $10 for local and $20 for international.
All right. And tell me again how many pages the book is.
This book is going to be 104 pages, but if we add that 3-page pitch I got going on, so you're looking at 110 at least, minimum 110.
All right. I'm talking to Gilbert Deltrez. He is the creator of Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, which is currently funding on Indiegogo. Let's get down here. Okay, here's your next perk, which is the digital perk. It's $15. And it looks like a few people have taken advantage of that. Okay, so you can get Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, just the book itself, for $25. So that no bells and whistles, no pinups, none of that kind of stuff.
Nothing come with that unless we reach stretch goals. Then everyone's gonna get they're gonna get a little something. Definitely gonna get some stuff, some goodies. So hopefully, we can get to that.
Right. So let me see.
But it's gonna be a 9.5 by 11.5 book over 100 pages. So you're definitely gonna have a lot to chew on.
Yeah, and that's one of the things in that I think the next issue of Brand, we've added pages. It was 48 pages, and we've gone up to 52.
Nice.
And because people were asking, are we going to do like fan art or something like that? And and I talked to Kanan, and we decided to add just a few extra little pages, just so we could put someone in there that we had been kind of wanting to add in there. That is not mentioned in the original script, so we just kind of added one quick little cameo. But let me see. So you get 2 signed books for $55, which
right. So that one says signed. I just want to say that anyone who backs, even at the $25 level, the book will be signed. I sign all my books. That was just when I gave the information to the Davison, who's my letterer, but he's also helping with the promo images. He just put it out 2 signed books, and I was just, instead of going back and forth, hey, just making I'll like just leave it. But everyone, if they're hearing this, you get an assigned book. I sign all my books.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah,
I'm gonna get carpal tunnel syndrome.
We've got about 3,000 issues of Brand to sign.
You know what? I think that's when it's really gonna hurt me. I think you know what? I saw you had so many backers, and I'm like, man, that's amazing. And I'm just thinking about, imagine signing each one of them books. That takes time, dude. So
yeah.
Now I get why people might charge. I can see that because it hurts, like it does, but. I'm not there yet at 3,000 backers, but if I do get there, I still want to say I'm just going to, grind it out and still sign the old-fashioned way.
But I respect, like I said, this looks fantastic, dude. Let me see. The headshot pack. Let me click on that to see. The way you got your whole campaign laid out, mine is kind of ghetto style. You got all the nice
dude. It don't matter. Just what matters is you getting backers. It doesn't matter. And that's your first campaign. You learn a lot from it. I learned a lot from doing layers twice. And like I said, I have this guy. He's a specialist. Okay, this is what he does. He makes stuff look real good. I don't know how he. Yeah,
this looks great, man. This I'm digging this. I was like, man, I need to holler at this dude. And
I'll definitely pass them in for if you need for sure.
Yeah, man. I was like, Elliot Fernandez was someone I've used. He designed the Akari Press logo. He designed the logo. Nice. It's in the corner of the video here. He did, he did our sticker pack that all our backers are going to get. So he did certain graphics for the Doom Kicker Indiegogo, and he was like, "Well, if you need my help, holler at me. Let me know." So I just, I thought about that because I was like, "Man, I see this," and I'm like,
"Put like this,
back to the drawing board."
Antonio, for Brand 2, right? You could throw out some bells and whistles there, okay? Don't worry about how Brand 1 looks because you got what you needed already. You got your audience.
And the little perks, because we're gonna do. There's gonna be 6 variant covers. Two of them from Kanan, And we've got big stuff coming on Way of the Gun.
I love this.
Elliot Fernandez is going to do a cover. Matthew Weldon. So like I said, it's going to be. I know I've got the art taken care of at least. So it's
which is the biggest hurdle that you got already in the bank. So you're good.
But I wanted to look like this though. Like I like when I click on it, man, look at these great graphics and everything. Yeah. Everything's so professional and laid out. I was like, I might need to.
We're trying to do the with Elliot. I was able to meet him for the first. I did my first ever my first ever Comic-Con ever as an exhibitor. And I did it at Tampa Bay, and I was able to meet Elliot Fernandez, and he's an amazing dude. We talked about Doom Kickers, we talked about a lot of other things, and he gave me his connection. He said to reach out to him as well, for he could help out as well with the campaign, which because of the hurricane I didn't get out to him, but I definitely need to, because again, just someone that has his type of repertoire with his pedigree, adding onto a campaign looks good. So. But yeah, dude, my next thing is, just trying to get this one funded, just trying to put it like this. Political climate in comics is so demoralizing. Like I wish it could just be about the comics. Like even you see my fairy right there, Mona Lisa. You saw Miss Sashi put the love on that, right? Yeah. Someone checked out my campaign because I was, like I said, I promote everywhere. And I'll promote on Reddit. I'll promote on Facebook. And I know there's heavy SJW audiences. I mean, sorry that I'm classifying you as such, but it's just when I get a comment that says, "Are you trying to sexualize the capybara?" I'm just like, come on, dude. I literally got that comment 2 days ago. I even tweeted about it. I'm like, come on. I'm like, it's just about like, dude. I'm at a loss for words. I'm just at a loss. Mona Lisa for me was inspired by She-Hulk. I love the body of She-Hulk. I always love the balance of finesse and a female figure. I just love that, and muscle. I just love that combination, and I wanted that captured with Mona Lisa, and Sebastian nailed it. And even he looked at like female MMA fighters. Another one was like this female soldier, Alexandra. She has an Instagram. So there's, what I'm saying? We got what we're trying to do as far as nothing sexual as far as sexualization goes, but the fact that there's this, it's like, why are we taking it there? Like, can't you see what the campaign's about? And you're fixated on if I'm trying to sexualize a capybara or not.
Well, I don't know. Well, see, I don't have a problem with. Well, obviously you got animals, but I've got humans or former humans in my and so like I can't wait till Kanan and I record the director's commentary because there's so many.
That's a good idea.
Oh my God. I'm like, and I got the idea for the director's commentary. I was trying to,
I like that.
I was trying to figure out different little cheap ways that people could support, because people was like, well, I've already backed the perk that I wanted. Is there anything else? You add another print, maybe a premium or something like that. And Doug Tenaple had a great idea about doing the director's commentary. So it is
that's cool, man. Like that's actually pretty neat. And, like going through the book and you're adding like your insight on like the creation, right?
Well, there's gonna be because Kanan already knows. Like there's gonna be a couple pages where I'm gonna have to be like, okay, me and you had a kind of button in the heads when this page came.
That does happen, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a page I'm actually getting ready to do the backer update, and I'm gonna release the page, I think.
Okay.
But there was a page in what I call the Hall of Fame. And there was like all the hookers in there and all this kind of stuff. And Kanan didn't want to draw certain things, and I was like, dude. I never lied to Kanan. I told Kanan right from the jump, this book is going to have a lot of violence in it. It's going to have adult situations. And he was like, okay, we'll power through. And then certain things come up, and then he's like,
could you share one particular one that got him under the skin, or you can't now?
It's the page is definitely page 33 where we go into the Hall of Fame, where there's a hooker in a hot tub and she's topless, and there's a stripper dancing in a cage, and then there's strippers on poles and stuff. And he drew it, although
tastefully.
maybe at the end of this stream, I will show that page because I'm gonna release it in the background.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I will share it. A little sneak peek. So it, like I said, I mean, I've got a character with there's a pimp with a magic cane.
That dude, I saw that dude in the beginning. I'm thinking it's him, right? That's the same dude we're talking about. Yeah, I liked his character already. I thought it was pretty clever.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, Fame. Like when we get into the next books and everything, I was like, I'm in their hookers, man. I was like, I'm just being real. So, and then there's things with the Covenant, and because like Lionel's dating one of the twin sisters, and there's things going on. So I'm like, there's gonna be, and then obviously when David and Dawn get together, like I said, it's gonna be adult. There's gonna be adult situations in it. But I think me and Kanan, as much as I nag him, and I'm a nagger, I do. It's like I get on his nerves, and but certain things he'll cave on, certain things I can't. I think we've always been able to find the balance and beat each other in the middle. So
that's a power duo, man. I love when there's writers and artists that have a. It's good to not always see eye to eye, but at the same time you could talk about it, and it won't become a battle of the egos. It's like, no, let's just think about the book first, and let's just see how. I get you don't want to do certain things, but look at this is why. Listen, this is important to the character. It's important to the scene we're setting. And he'll like, okay, well, I'm gonna put this spin on it, and then you can come to something. Like that's always fun. That kind of chemistry with a writer and an artist.
Yeah, Kanan has absolutely no problem drawing violent stuff though, because anybody that read his work with Kyron Gillen on Uber, man, they drew some.
You got
World War II supernatural. They're ripping people in half, and there's a scene that I showed where the character William actually has like a little scythe or whatever, and he chops off the head of this werewolf, and I mean literally lots of blood everywhere and everything. And I was like, Kanan, how can you draw stuff like this? And then I asked you to show a breast and you freak out. That's so that's the thing. But he doesn't have a problem like chopping up vampires and werewolves and stuff, but you say, hey,
it's touchy. I don't know. It could be like for me, my wife. I mean, I love my wife to death for sure, right? But she'll look at something like nudity and she'll just see nudity and she don't see like what's like. I'm like, honey, you got to understand everything. Like, I'm not trying to be gratuitous in anything I do, but I'm like, even if I'm looking at something, if it's a comic, like we were looking at, I was reading Billy Tucci's She. I don't know if you remember She. Yes. So I was reading that comic, and I remember because my buddy it was my next door neighbor. He had this comic. He showed it to me, and that was like a big thing, like nudity, whatever. He didn't even let me touch the damn comic book. He was like, I had to look at it from his lap. Wait a minute. Are you still with me? Please tell me. Hold up. I may have lost it again. Hold up. Okay, hold up. Yeah, I lost him. Hold on. Hopefully, but let me, while I'm waiting on him to get back in it, let me check in with y'all. And let me see. All right, I should be back because I'm trying to, and I believe I have Gilbert back. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a theme of the show. We're just gonna pop in and out and just roll with it until.
Well, yeah, I had to refresh the chat. You were you popped out, so I had to refresh because everything like froze up and stuff. But yeah, because I was talking and I was like, wait a minute, it just got silent on me. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about nudity. It's like when we get to the good stuff. Not that I'm just saying that nudity is good in some aspects, right? What was I saying about She, right? And I was reading that book, and the wife was watching me read it because I was reading it. And she's like, "What's that?" and this and that. I'm like, "Honey, it's just she's meditating." Well, why is she naked? I'm like, hold on a second. It's like you ever get the feeling like you're doing something wrong, but you're not. It's like, hon, it's just she's meditating, whatever. And she was just so like blindsided by just the nudity, then just taking into character moment and just seeing how disciplined this character was or whatnot. So what I'm trying to say is that I understand maybe how Kanan could have his way about going against certain things, or maybe, but like you guys as a team, you bridge that gap together for the sake of the story, and holding up to the integrity of the book brand. And I think it's cool when you can do that. And I just think another thing that pervades the mind or the perception of like the SJW mindset is where you just see one thing, but you don't see. It's like you see what's in the box, and you're stuck inside that box. Yeah, and you can't look outside of it.
And I definitely think, I don't know, like you said, me and Kanan have been able to have a meeting of the minds. I think we find, like I said, he doesn't want to do graphic sexual situations, and I don't want him to do graphic sexual situations either. But I'd say I'm doing the level of an R-rated movie. There's gonna be definite, pretty graphic violence, and adult situation. Hell, once we get into the Cravens having their children, there'll be like breastfeeding and stuff. There'll be stuff like that in there. I mean, these are the type of things that are in there. So, I think me and Kanan are on the same page, but I know there are, because I told him, I said, there's a couple scenes, and I already told him what there was. And I said, you saying you're going to draw them, but I know when we get there, I'm going to see the layouts, and it's not going to be what I want.
What you want.
And it's going to be, like you said, I've been very clear that brand is mature, so it's not a bubblegum comic.
Yeah.
It's not for the little wee lads, although they'll see Kanan's art and go, "Oh, this looks really cool."
That's what I'm worried about. Also, with Gromp, because of the character, the anthropomorphic. It's just like, oh, let me just, like, someone was like, oh, I want to get some copies for my daughter and for my son, and then that's where I put the disclaimer, where even though I put it as teen, I put that it shows the cartoon violence. I put that it shows all that stuff, because last thing we need is some type of lawsuit to come out of crowdfunding because you didn't have a warning on a book or something like that. I don't know. I mean, you'd be surprised with, parents nowadays, they got to do their diligence. But with that, that's what I was thinking. Okay, let me just throw some type of warning on the campaign. So if anyone says something, I'll be like, well, it's teen, even though it's going to be like borderline. That's as like an extreme as teen as you can get as for a teen rating. So I'm just trying to,
So let me see here. I've got Jam Creates Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Looks so good. Back this book, people. I agree. This looks great. And I also see I see my editor, Amanda Lamella. She is in the chat.
Oh, nice.
And she's doing some housework. Amanda, I'm going to have something else for you to look at here, because I'm doing some script changes. And, there's some things, because like I said, there's things going, and then I've got another script for Way of the Gun that I'm doing. So yeah, I was like, we've been putting it in, but I can't wait to finally get this done. Have Kanan working on the new book, and just be completely into the new situations. So.
Into the new arc for sure, man. It's like, it's a good feeling to get that way, because I've crowdfunded small book stuff before. When you're finally done, it's like you feel, I don't know how to explain, but you feel something lifted over you. It's just something in you where you're like, all right, boom, I fulfilled that. I'm good on that, and you can go on your next book like with a clear head.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting there. You're closing in on that. So.
Sketch Therapy is asking where you are from, Brother Gilly. So,
Sketch. I'm born in New York, but my background is like Elliot Fernandez. I'm Puerto Rican, a New Yorican.
Yeah. Do you? Let me ask the question like with Elliot. Do you drink the coffee with the cheese in it?
You know what? I've had that. I dated a Colombian girl, and she that was her thing, and I did it, and I wasn't crazy about it. So I don't know if that's a Puerto Rican thing too, but and Tony, I don't know if you like cheese in your coffee. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm just saying, I love my cheese and my nachos. I love cheese with my chili. I love cheese on my pizza. There's some things I love my cheese on, but the coffee, that's a thing though. I'm not crazy about it though.
But I was just curious about it because I don't know. Elliot was like, "Hey man, don't knock till you try it, brother." And I was like, "All right, I got you."
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. I'll tell you that it's an acquired taste. So it could be something that you you might try it for some time, but it is an acquired taste.
But all right, so let me okay. So do you plan on doing more volumes of this? Because like I said, this looks fantastic. Yeah. It's first book. How far along in the process are you on it?
All right. So we have just started the layouts for the first page. So I'm going to be teasing them out. Sebastian's been working on that. He was had a little vacation. Now he's back in the grind. And September, we're just going to start churning out everything we can just for promo pieces, just to show people how committed we are to the book. And thankfully, if we are able to get this to fund, Antonio, I think I might take a page out of your book and just stick with this one for a while, maybe like up to 2 or 3 volumes, and try to build it as like a franchise. I think like what brand I can see how that's you making it as a franchise, and kind of think like that's what I want to do, at least with Grom, with Galactic Rodents of Mayhem.
Right, man. But like I said, man, campaign looks great, man. I
appreciate
really out of and I thought Lair was special. I thought that was a special book, so I was very proud to have you on my channel.
I appreciate you, dude. I like to be transparent, right? That's what I'm about, right? And I love that how when I connected with you, you told me straight up, you're like, "Hey, man, a lot of people connect with me. They want to, they want me to rep their stuff, but it's like." Like there's some stuff that's just not worth my time. So I mean, in a nice way. But like, I saw your stuff, and it was pro quality. So I respect that. That's anything I put out there. And trying to get exposure. I want to put out pro quality stuff. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, because you had Lair. I know you had it on Indiegogo. Did you do it on Kickstarter too, or no?
Yeah, I started that one on Kickstarter, and I was able to make the goal, but there was a major issue with some of the what do you call it, like the processing requests, where we didn't get the 10,000 we needed, and I was literally going out of pocket and trying to get stuff done, so that when I brought it on Indiegogo, I was able to fund a print run that I can take to conventions and give a bonus to the team for doing a lot of, because they were grinding it out with me, and I was, paycheck to paycheck, giving them a little sum. They were getting some stuff out, so it took a lot longer than we'd have liked. But that's why I'm hesitant with Kickstarter, only because there's a lot of, it just happens. It just happens. Even Pistolet, I had about almost 250 that just disappeared. And that hits your bottom line, that hits your pocket, or that hits printing, that hits whatever. It hits you. I love how Indiegogo, after that percentage, kind of like when people back, they're charged right there, so you can bank on that, and there's no like week of processing or whatever where you can get a surprise that you're not expecting. So that's one thing I like with Indiegogo. But yeah, so Lair was special, and I'm just trying to show people out there that, hey, I could jump from supernatural horror, I could jump to Western, I could do a space thing. I just want to show my chops as a writer, because I feel there's, in Hollywood and mainstream and everything, it's kind of like you get a cash cow, you settle on it, but we lose the connection, and we lose that respect and that camaraderie with our audience. I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones, but just how that ends.
Yeah, every episode, dude.
Come on, man. How did that end? Like, I get what they're trying to do, but then when you end it like that, and it's just so, it's like, man, it's like a poorly wrapped present. It's like, this is how you end it? Like, dude.
Last 2 seasons, I thought last 2 seasons, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
Come on, man. I get the reveal. I get if you want to make Cersei, go mad and all that. But there's ways you do things, and you tie. Oh my gosh, dude! And you know what I realized, that the team behind Game of Thrones, they're going to be doing like a new Star Wars spinoff or something like that. So
I've heard that, but then I've also heard that they might be losing that opportunity because they just signed HBO. They got out of the deal with HBO, and now they signed the deal with Netflix.
Oh, they now?
Yeah, they're exclusive to Netflix now. So whatever the next, because they had this is crazy. They had a show that they were going to do. I think it was with Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be set in a world where the South won the Civil War.
Okay,
And
that's
it was supposed to be like a slavery show. It was crazy. But like I said, I think Aaron Magruder was also involved in it. But yeah, and they got greenlit for this. And then when Game of Thrones bombed, HBO was like, yeah, we're not doing this show.
That's what I'm think about it. Here's the thing. They had the ties to HBO, but let's say whatever deal you come up with to say, hey, we'll offset this with another creative team. You can keep on churning out Game of Thrones, end it the way you need to, because everything was so rushed. Like it was so damn rushed. It was like, come on. We could go on and on with this, right? Just on how so many things were so rushed in certain ways where I feel like you're killing your audience, dude. They're your backbone.
My thing is, I think around, say, season 5, they realized that they had created this monster.
Oh, yeah.
And that they wanted out. You started kind of, especially in some of these post-show interviews, now that everything's done, and they started wanting to get out. The fans, it was too much. People were like sending, because they started having like special like drone detectors. People were sending drones in and doing all kind of stuff just so they could get like
info, right? Those are hardcore.
It was
drones. Oh, my spy drones.
It was doing too much, man. So the show became its own, which there was a interview I saw on YouTube, and I think George R.R. Martin was talking about, he realizes that the show surpassed the novel. He was doing. The show is it's its own business. It's merchandising, because there's one interview with George where he was talking about all the concessions on merchandise he had to make with HBO when they were launching the show, and the problem was, he had already licensed some Game of Thrones stuff because he had already, the book had already been out about 20 years when it finally went on the air. I think when the first one came out, or it had been out.
It had been out a while. Oh yeah,
it came out in the 90s. Yeah, the first the actual book of Game of Thrones came out in like 93 or something. I mean, it came out in the 90s, and so he had some licensing agreements, because it was winning all these fantasy awards and everything. So, and
they did create a monster, like you said, and it was hard to just keep it in its cage. I guess it was just growing out.
There's a great interview I watched where he was talking about he had already licensed certain things to other companies, and then HBO came in and they were kind of pissed off because they wanted to exploit this. They had spent money buying the franchise rights, and they wanted to exploit this thing. They were like, wait a minute, what do you mean I can't do this? I want to make a keychain. I want to make a lunchboxes. I want to, shot glasses and shirts. And they were like, well, you can do this, but you can't do this because this company holds the rights. And they were, and they weren't used to that because they were used to just going to some small creator and just like, look, we just gonna own all your shit and kind of like how Sony got the Spider-Man rights because Marvel was losing money at that
point. Were they going close to being bankrupt or something?
Well, they had filed bankruptcy and all this. That's the reason everybody's like, why does Sony have Spider-Man? It's like and everybody's thinking like they own the film rights. They don't own the character. They own but Marvel can't make Spider-Man films without Sony's permission. And it and the contract they signed sounds like it's so bad that it is infinite. There's no end to it. That's what I was sitting there going, when it only is I think if they put out a Spider-Man movie every 3 years, they keep the rights. So that's and forever. It sounds like they'll have those rights.
They're gonna keep it. That's the best thing in the world. Don't give that up. As much as I like the whole MCU Spidey and kind of what they did, if you think about it, like they don't need.
I think I lost him again. Hold up. Let me see. Let me get my man back. Hold up. Boom. Are you there, Gilbert? Hello. Gilbert? Oh, no. Well, hopefully I can get him back. This is me. All right, hold on. Gilbert? Mr. Deltrez. Darn it. Okay, hold up. Hopefully he'll be able to hop back in here. I'm like, we haven't. I know that it's a little wacky in Florida right now, though. So hopefully, because you guys can hear me. But how are you guys doing? It looks like I see his symbol on the screen, but it's frozen. So, Gilbert, this is bad. Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, he's okay. Hold up. Okay, I think he's coming back. Let me see. Boom. Can I get him back in here?
Yeah,
okay.
We were talking about Spider-Man.
Like, okay.
I had to just dip out like Peter does in the comics every now and then. I don't. This is the first time I've been back and forth like that, but I'll run with it, man. I'm very cool. We were just talking about your thoughts on Spider-Man, right? And how it's just like basically you can't keep everyone happy. Spider-Man is now with Sony, and even if they don't want to get into an agreement with Disney, they still hold the ace card. It's because they have Spider-Man. They're going to let go of that.
But right, but my whole point of that, it was like when you hear about the contract, it literally sounds like they can never get out of it.
That's
why I was sitting there.
Who makes these contracts? Man?
It was like a mafia contract.
That's a genius contract, dude.
Yeah,
we try to release a movie every 3 years. We keep the rights. Bingo, we could do that.
Yeah, it's like all you got to do is just make a movie every 3 years, and you keep it forever. So like 25 years from now, they'll have the rights to Spider-Man.
Put like this, they ain't going nowhere unless Sony goes bankrupt and needs to sell it out to someone else, which I don't ever see that happening.
I mean, yeah, I don't see that happen. Sony, although, who knows, man? Somebody will come along and
stranger things been known to happen. Yeah.
Someone will come along and create something in Sony, because the only reason we got Spider-Man back in the MCU is when they relaunched with Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 1 actually did okay. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was awful. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was awful. And it didn't do the numbers. They had Jamie Foxx as Electro, and they had
I'm like, yes, that's what you meant. Okay, that's James Garfield's Spider-Man. Yes, the second one, I don't know. I was not feeling. Were you? I like Jamie Foxx, but the whole Electro, I don't know, the Rhino.
It was hard. Yeah,
it was bad, horrendously bad.
You put in the Rhinos. I love. I love all the old school. Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Spider-Man villains. That's the reason.
Sure.
Well, I mean, the very reason David Craven's name is Craven is
because you like Craven.
The
Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, but the only thing is I changed it to Craven with a C.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like they
pay homage when you can, man.
Craven the Hunter, and it's like Craven the Hunter is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time, and so I wanted David's last name to be like a nod to Craven the Hunter. That's why he has that last name, and he hunts the supernatural. So it was just
that's a badass. That dude sounds badass. Someone who already hunts the supernatural.
It's like. I mean, that's
that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the Bomb Diggy, man. But like all those old Lee Ditko villains, that's my wheelhouse. So when I see Paul Giamatti
Sinister Six,
as the Rhino,
no,
I was like, no,
come on, man. I know he's mostly what was he CGI in that mechanical thing, but like his face and all. It's just come on, man. I was just like you, dude. I was like, my eyes couldn't roll back any further in my head. I would have saw what I was thinking.
I love Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti's great. Let me say this. Yeah. Watch Billions on Showtime with Paul Giamatti. As the district attorney guy or the ADA or whatever he's a lawyer that U.S. district attorney or whatever, and I mean and then the other guy is like a crooked stock investor. But watch Billions on Showtime. That show is brilliant. Paul Giamatti kills that.
He's a great actor, no doubt.
Yeah, he's a great character actor.
Some people, we're talking comic book stuff, and he got no doubting his acting prowess. We get that, but
he's not right for Rhino.
Exactly. Like that's like, how do you do that? It's like you're casting a role for an apple and you put in the orange. Like, what's going on here? Like, you got to keep things, or you got to be bold, but there's some things that need to make sense. I know you're trying to sell a movie, but at the same time, you also got to understand the source material that you're working with and create within that. Be creative within that sense.
Yeah, they could have got somebody else. I want them to get a big hulking guy and kind of put. I don't know. Like I said, as soon as they did the tank suit, I was done.
Yeah, it was
like,
it.
what is that?
Yeah, exactly. The Rhino was who? He was a force of nature. That dude. He was just a mammoth size. He was no joke. And then just little Paul Giamatti in his mechanical suit. It's like, come on, man.
And he's talking because the Rhino's a Russian guy in the comics, so he's talking with the accent. And I was like, oh God,
You can't do this. You can't do it. Yeah.
And I can't believe Paul Giamatti. I guarantee they paid him a decent amount of money because he
made his money.
Yeah, he's been nominated for Oscars at least twice that I can remember. And I'm saying, so yeah, he's brilliant, but they backed that truck up for him and paid him a nice hefty fee, and but you can't just do anything with money. He probably
don't they understand the fans? Like even if you look at Spider-Man 3, right, with Tobey Maguire, you had the Venom, you had
Venom was horrible.
Yeah, exactly. That was I mean, Eddie Brock. Has anyone saw Eddie Brock in a comic book? The dude's ripped. He was just this big dude. Like built like Triple H from WWE. He was just this big dude. And you put a little Topher Grace. I mean, you had so much going on in there. The symbiote alone is a story worth just him and Venom squaring off. You don't have to do everything else. You don't have to throw the Sandman in there.
Well, that wasn't the plan. I don't know if you know how that when Sam Raimi had originally wrote the script.
Yeah,
they made him put Venom in there. He wanted to do what was it? I think it was Electro. I think it was supposed to be Sandman. It was supposed to be two villains, but Sandman was one of them. Right. And then it was supposed to be, and then obviously they were going to do the little hobgoblin, whatever that they were doing. So because they had foreshadowed that, so they were gonna,
Sony was like muscling him, right? Like the Sony was kind of like muscling him, like you got to do this, you got to do that. That they kind of forced his hand, I think.
Yeah, so he wanted to do Sandman and Electro, and then just top it off with the new Goblin.
Mm-hmm. That would have been cool because the dude who played the Sandman looked good as a Sandman. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and they spent money on CGI effects and everything.
Yeah, it's just a mismatch when you let's just put Venom in to put Venom. The new Venom movie, I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have high hopes for it, but when I went in without a movie,
horrible, but it wasn't. Because let me hold. First of all, I see Jam Create says my daughter was an extra in Amazing Spider-Man 3. That was
sweet.
Yeah, I'm oh boy. But that movie, like when they did Disco Spider-Man, I was done. Oh, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Oh, hold up. Okay, so he just corrected, man.
Yeah, because that was the one with Electro.
Amazing. Okay, I thought he was talking about Spider-Man 3 with the Disco Spider-Man.
The Disco Spider.
Yeah, Disco. When they did that, when he started walking down the street and doing that little bobbing thing,
I almost walked out of the theater at that one, dude.
It was. Because here's the thing, I went to the mid, because that's the thing. That's why I know Star Wars sucks now, because I used to make sure I went to all the, I used to go to all the midnight premieres.
Mm-hmm.
Like Star Wars is coming, Avengers is coming. I'm like, midnight show. Right there.
That was like a thing, a ritual for sure.
Yeah. So when the Solo came out, I didn't go to the midnight premiere. And I'm not going to the midnight premiere of Rise of the Skywalker either, because I just don't like what they're doing. It looks corny as hell, man. I don't like the way the characters look.
They're killing what I remember growing up as to be an awesome franchise, and I hate how it's almost like this deconstruction of what you knew to be awesome with Star Wars, and kind of like how you have your reference to Craven and like Brand. Like even me with Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, there's going to be a slew of Star Wars type references where I feel like they went wrong in, but they're just subtle because you're big on Star Wars. You remember the original Han Solo where his intro is? Now they changed it to make it seem like Greedo shot first and then like Han moves his head. I'm like, yo, Han was the only one that shot, period. He shot first, he shot last. You know what I mean? And then this whole thing is like, and then why change that? I mean, Han Solo was badass as it is. It doesn't show him as cold-blooded. He did what he had to do to survive in that situation. Things like that just annoy me.
But let me say this. With the Han shot first thing, which I agree, George Lucas, that's the difference between being a young man
Mm-hmm.
and then getting 40 years ahead of you and realizing, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I didn't like, you know,
but
so
it's done though, right?
you're looking at the young George Lucas going,
Yeah.
because he talked about that
That's a good point.
on the because I've got the first 6 Star Wars movies. I got the little they had released a DVD set.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure that like, and you know what? That's another thing. I haven't bought any of the new Star Wars movies.
I haven't.
I got
either.
all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I haven't. Rogue One, I like the best out of the new Star
Rogue
Wars
One
movies.
was dope. I got to be honest about that. I went with Rogue One.
That's my favorite out of the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah, Rogue One was dope, man. I went with my ex. Me and her went, and I thought like the CGI, Grand Moff Tarkin. I was like, oh shit! And I mean, it's kind of crazy though, because you'd be like, they could actually bring people that have been dead for like they just get somebody.
Wasn't that great? I almost had to like. I'm like, what? The special effects was phenomenal because again, you're like, aren't these dead people? And they're just like alive and well through CGI magic.
Well, yeah, and I remember I was watching something. It was like I was watching and they did the CGI Peter Cushing and it looked kind of fake. And I was like, okay, you're saying that because you know he was dead. And I made sure I watched it again, and I watched it with somebody that had no idea who Peter Cushing was. They thought he was still alive and stuff. Yeah. They didn't. And then when I told them at the end the dude been dead for like 25 years, they was like, what?
Yeah.
And they was blown away. That's why I know. That's why I was like, you're looking at it when someone is uninitiated and they look at it. Those effects were. That's why they got nominated for an Oscar for those special effects. Those Peter Cushing and Grand Moff Tarkin, they crafted a very believable performance for him, and they got somebody that could imitate his voice pretty clearly. And I was like, I said, shit, that really looks like Grand Moff Tarkin. And I was like, and I knew the dude was, Peter Cushing's been dead for a minute. And I was like, wow, they could actually bring, what if they brought like Alex Guinness back as Obi-Wan? They could do shit like that.
They could. They actually could. But they would need to do so much to to fix up the mess that's been going on. I like Rogue One because I like that it was still dark, right? Like, I mean, like they're on a suicide mission and you're still watching, you're hoping like, man, maybe someone will live.
I've watched Rogue One at least 10 times. I thought that shit was dope.
No,
I was like, Rogue One was dope, and I like they actually got James Earl Jones because they had another. There's another guy that does the Vader voice in some of the video games and stuff like that, because obviously James Earl Jones is expensive as hell. Yeah, but they they managed to talk James Earl Jones into actually doing Vader for them, and I was like, there you go, man. I was like, they got James Earl Jones.
That's classic.
And they got the Cushing looks very believable. And I was like, I was cool with it. And then right there at the end, when they were blending the end of Rogue One to the beginning of New Hope,
that was so cool.
And Vader come out with this. Yeah, he was. Oh man,
you see what I mean? That's the dark that wasn't. I mean, in the old movies, the dark side was just they were almost unstoppable in my view. And now we're seeing these new movies. I get what you're trying to do, but still, it's just you're losing the essence of what it is for me. Kylo Ren, I thought he was gonna be this big badass, and he's just this fluffy, whiny character. There's still stuff you could do with him, but I feel like you missed the ball on that. Rey is just another one where it's just like. Again, that's why we get into that Mary Sue territory, right? It's just like she's already using the Jedi mind trick in the first freaking movie, and she's not even a Jedi. I get you trying to say she's so good, but still, like, you don't do that.
They have already came out since they did that trailer with the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, the Swiss Army saber.
That shit had me cracking up. Somebody like, and she's got
had the different shapes on it. It doesn't look threatening. It doesn't look menacing. It's almost like you're like, I don't know, you're unfolding a rake or something. It's just it didn't have a threatening. There's nothing threatening about it. Nothing menacing about it. It was just as routine as, I don't know, flipping open something to sweep a floor. I don't know. It was just, like you said, Swiss Army knife. It just looked goofy. It wasn't anything at all that just was intimidating, that has even a semblance of what Star Wars was for me that I remember. And I think that just sucks. But anyway.
I'm just saying, like, I remember when the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, came out, and we saw Darth Maul
Yeah, Darth Maul. That was cool though, but it made sense.
It was like, oh shit.
It made sense, but it made sense.
No, but I'm saying
yeah.
the difference. I'm like, you can tell the fans got excited.
Oh,
they saw that double-bladed lightsaber. People was like, "Oh wow, they got this guy hyped up." And then you see the switchblade lightsaber, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is?"
Yeah, like it's not even cool, man. It's like this type of stuff that I get. With social media makes it hard, but there's some things you got to leave for people in the theaters where they're gonna have that oh shit moment, like oh Darth Maul with the like you gotta have a moment like that. And if it's the if it falls flat, you know it's gonna fall flat because that was it that double lightsaber thing with Rey fell flat. That switch, it fell flat. It just looked off. It didn't look menacing. It was just like a joke.
I'm like, she's better at using the Force than any Jedi that has ever lived.
What's up with that? And then I got into argument with people, and not argument, but just like cool banter, right? Cool discussion. And they're like, "Oh, but she's grew up in the streets or scavenging," and this. I'm like, "But how did okay? But where's the? Listen, Luke went through his trauma, right? He saw his aunt and uncle burned to a crisp. He's going through his thing. But he went through a gradual process to."
Oh, did I lose Gilbert again? Oh man, I lost him again. But let me see, cause all right, so I'm gonna holler at y'all. Let me see. Let's see, Lucas King. I'll get Rise of the Skywalkers on trade paperback because I don't have any faith in that one. Let me see. Hold up. The screen moved. Hold on. Let's see, because I don't have faith in one. The Mandalorian is the only Star Wars I want to see right now. But if it doesn't have a male main, I'm done. Well, it's the guy from Game of Thrones, and I'm actually looking forward to the Mandalorian. I think that's going to be dope. Let's see. Lucas King also says the Swiss Army saber is stupid. At least Maul saber could be used as a single bladed if he wanted or a lance. Having two blades and a double wide handle is dumb, and I agree with that. And I think Gilbert is back. Let me pull him in here. All right, you back, baby.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so I was seeing what you were saying. Like I was reading up the comments too. Like, okay, so real quick with Luke, right? Didn't he take up to 3 freaking movies to finally be able to be successful with the Jedi mind trick?
Yeah,
and we see Rey using it within like the first 3/4 of the movie. She's like already using it. Like, dude, oh man, we can go on and on with this, right?
She's like stupid overpowered, and it's like, and not to mention she hasn't. Even Luke, what he said, I'll give you 3 lessons. So that's all you need. You just need 3 lessons. You just need 3 lessons because one thing they have demonstrated is Kylo Ren is extraordinarily powerful. And she could go blow for blow with Kylo Ren.
That's what annoyed me. And then people are like, well, he got shot, but come on, man. He's a isn't he a Sith Lord, right? Isn't he like versed in his training? Like, come on, she should not be matching blow to blow him, getting to the point where she practically had it won. If it wasn't it like the ground kind of breaking or something like that?
Yeah.
She was about to kill him, put it that way. The ground broke and saved his ass, and he's the bad guy. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I was like, I understand yay women, all that, man, but
hey, I'm all for female empowerment. Let me tell you, Ellen Ripley from Aliens, I love her. Sarah Connor from Terminator. You know, I'm talking about Terminator 1.
Terminator looks awful, though. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm not. I was a little hyped up when I kind of saw it, but then when I kind of was researching more, people were kind of saying, no, check this out. And they were showing me some stuff. I'm like,
new trailer?
Wow.
No, the new Terminator trailer is...
Yeah, the dude that they have as the main bad guy. What the hell's up with that? He looks like there was so much that I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Initially, I was hyped because, again, I'm just hyped. But then I see they're going that whole SJW route, and I'm just like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. They take shit that was cool. I was like, guys, all this shit used to be cool. What are y'all doing?
They're neutering what was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up on Terminator. That was they neutering it. She was a badass. Have you ever seen part 1? Remember part 1? She was a badass. She was just a waitress, but then she's freaking surviving a damn freaking Terminator head on in that freaking factory. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Ellen Ripley gets in that freaking space like a mech suit. This is like going against the alien. Like
she's like, "Come on, you bitch!" You know, just take it on. And
that was fearless.
Well, Aliens is a cinematic masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aliens is incredible.
I love Aliens. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Aliens. Man, Aliens. What do you think about the newer Aliens movies? Because
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of mixed with them. I watch them just because I'm watching them because I like Aliens, but I feel like they lost much of the magic. Oh, after what was it? Part 3 was okay. It was different. Then they had what was it? Was it Resurrection where Ripley came back?
yeah, that was stupid. Resurrection was stupid.
Yeah, I mean that was like it was like popcorn. I mean it was like okay, but then after that, the new ones, Prometheus was okay, but I just feel like it's
I
missing
like
something.
Prometheus.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
yeah, it was.
I like
It was okay.
Prometheus,
Yeah,
especially when I didn't know it was an Aliens movie. And then at the end I said, "Oh
exactly.
my god, are they doing Aliens?" And I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, okay." So
that,
I thought it was cool. So then when they came out with this new one, and it was direct, it was an Aliens movie again, and you had the evil android and the whole thing, which Michael Fassbender, I love his work. Yeah,
no, he was great.
Although he needs to tell them he don't ever want to play Magneto again. Not because he's horrible.
They killed Dark Phoenix, though. They killed Dark Phoenix, man.
Dark Phoenix wasn't that good to me. And
it was
and
travesty.
Apocalypse was awful. It was awful too. And I was hyped. I said, "Oh shit, they doing Apocalypse!" And I got all hyped, and I saw this, and I was like,
I think was it Future Past was kind of good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Days of Future Past, X-Men First Class.
Yeah, and then like it just went sideways. It's just a lot of these. Oh man, I don't know. It's kind of sad though because like I kind of don't want to see this happening in the movies I enjoy. It's like look at the Predator. I don't know if you were fans of the Predator. I love Predator Part 1. I love Predator 2.
Well, that one was called Predators, right? The one that
that one I'll tolerate that. I'll tolerate that. Yeah, that one was called Predators. I could tolerate that one.
What's the guy? Rodriguez. What's his last?
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez. Okay, yeah. Spy Kids. Yeah,
I could tolerate that one. I mean, I like Lawrence Fishburne in there.
I thought it was. They tried to. Okay,
I could tolerate. I'm not saying it was great.
That's what I was about to say. They tried to. They took something that was already. I was like, dude, don't break what ain't broken, man. Just don't. It works, man. So let me. King says. I don't know why nobody liked Prometheus. I thought it was good. No, Prometheus was a huge hit. That's why I got the Prometheus was that's strange to me because Prometheus was a huge hit. It made money. That's why they got to do another Aliens movie.
It's the Aliens movie after Prometheus where also was kind of like like you watch it. What was it called?
It was just my man from Eastbound and Down was in there.
I can't remember his name with the mullet.
He got that show on HBO where he's playing the preacher, the Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah,
Danny McBride. That shit is dope.
Yeah,
the Righteous Gemstones on HBO. That shit is dope. But Danny McBride was in the Aliens movie, and they also had Jussie Smollett in there. Smollett.
I missed that.
Yeah, Jussie Smollett was in Aliens. And I was like, well, it was obviously before he faked the hate crime.
It
was, but Jussie was in there, Musty Jussie. And let's see.
Juicy Smollett.
Let's see. Danny McBride, he wrote Underworld. I thought that was that guy or maybe he was, because I know he did do some screenwriting in Hollywood, but I know the guy Kevin Grevioux, he was the one that created Underworld, and he played that big thick neck werewolf in there because his voice is like, and I was like, his voice just sounds unreal. I actually asked him would he come on. He was talking to. He's friends with Doug TeNapel on Facebook, and he commented on, and I asked him would he come on, and then he said he would, and then I tried to set it up, and we couldn't get it to work. So I was like, damn, I would have loved to talk to him because I see he's doing that. He's working with Mitch Breitweiser at the Allegiance Arts and Entertainment, and he's doing the Bat Mastersons. He's writing a comic book based on Bat Masterson. Okay. So. Yeah, and I'm like, I've read a little bit about some of those original black cowboys from back in the day, and he was like a bounty hunter and caught he was like Bat Masterson was a bad mamma jamma and everything. So yeah, Kevin Grevioux he's writing the Bat Masterson comic book from it, Bright Watchers Company. So, Bass Reeves. Okay, I said, okay, my bad. I said wrong. Yeah, Bass Reeves. Okay, but yeah, he's writing that comic, and the art looked really cool. What I saw Mitch show. So, So yeah, Bass Reeves. But yeah, Kevin, like I said, Kevin Grevaux, he had said I could interview him because I was trying to get him to come on because I wanted to talk to him and talk about Underworld.
That would have been special. Underworld, I think, was a cool concept. Didn't it get to how many? Like 3 movies or 5? 4, 5. Jesus Christ!
It was like, let me see.
I missed out. Yeah. The last one's pretty good. I think I stopped at the trilogy. I want to say.
Some people like this last one. I think there were like 5 of them because it was Underworld and then Underworld Unleashed or whatever, and then there was a third one, and there was like a little prequel, and then they did this. Yeah, there was like 5 of them.
So, I definitely got to watch the last 2. I liked it, but then for me, I just felt like
because
like they missed its mark some part.
What's the guy? I think his name's Scott. I can't remember his name. He was in. He was on the show Felicity on the WB back in the day, and then he was in Triple X 2. So with Triple X State of the Union with Ice Cube. I can't remember his name, but he was the vampire. He was the last descendant of the Corbin or whatever where they were able to breed the vampire and the werewolf blood together or DNA together. And he thought it was stupid and he didn't want to come back. And so he didn't come back for the movie. And then, so they had to use like old footage of him and then do some CGI.
Crazy. This is like a thing or a trend that's going on. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, they had to kill him off. And also he couldn't really be killed. It was crazy. So I was like, wait a minute, y'all went to all this trouble saying that, obviously if you combine werewolf and vampire DNA and it's stable, that guy is unkillable. Because the werewolf is able to just super stupid regenerate already. And then now he's got an immunity to silver and all this kind of stuff, but somehow he's able to get killed now because you couldn't get him to sign a contract because he read the script and he was like, this shit is stupid. I ain't coming back for this. And I noticed he wasn't really doing too. That's why I'm sitting here going, it's bad when the guy's not really doing that much acting and he still thinks the script is stupid and they don't want to bring him back.
I appreciate his candor. Sometimes you just gotta stick to something, right? You gotta be loyal to something. If you think it's stupid, and it's just why come back?
Yeah, because I was like, he ain't even working right now. He does some TV,
and he's like still not even just like, nah, this ain't even. I don't want to be.
Like I said, I remember when he was on Felicity. I don't know. I used to watch Felicity. I used to watch all those WB shows, Dawson's Creek and Felicity and Smallville and.
Smallville, I tried to get into that. Some of them just I couldn't get into. Not that I didn't try. Supernatural is one that I kind of liked what they're doing just because it's kind of dark.
The last season, Supernatural, man, it's coming back for the final season.
Yeah, but I got to catch up on that because there's like a filler list. I got to go by the filler list.
Like over 200 episodes.
No, there's so much. That's the thing, man. It's like you can only do so much. Like my content, there's so much I want to watch, but it's like, man, I could. Because now that I have little man, it's so hard to find time with family, with school, with freaking kids.
No, but I'm saying they on Supernatural they did the Scooby-Doo animation episode. That's when I knew they ran out of ideas.
They actually did that.
They ran out of. I said, okay, they get trapped in the cartoon world.
Oh no! I gotta YouTube that. Tell me that's on YouTube. I can just watch that standalone episode.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but I mean, I get it. They wanted to just do the cartoon and have the actors and do all that. But yeah, they got trapped into like TV world and they got animated and stuff. I get it. But I was like, once y'all start doing little gimmicky shows like that.
Yeah, I can't, I
got my friends that are big. They were into like Vampire Diaries and Supernatural. They were heavy into it. And then you start doing shit like that and everybody was like,
no.
Okay. But I mean, they going out because they tried to end it. They tried to end Supernatural like around season 5, I thought it was, and then the fans was like, "No, you got to bring it back." Because I think it was because my friend's son, he was huge. I mean, he glued to Supernatural. That was his show, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "You look at the end. The series finale." Really was season 5 where the one brother went to hell or whatever, and at that point. But then, you know, fans were really passionate about the show and they saved the show. And so they brought him back. So all of a sudden they had built all this stuff where they were sending one of the brothers to hell and all this. And then they had to go bring him back from hell. And then they wrote out, and it looked like they kind of lost their way. Season 6, I think, was pretty much a shit show. And then season 7, they got back on the right path.
On the right path, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh, okay, yeah. And, so yeah, because they had to have a season. They was like, oh damn, we kind of ran out of ideas. But like I said, they did that Scooby-Doo episode last year. And I was like, okay, they don't have no more ideas, man. They don't, because they've done like 200 episodes.
No, so, that's where it's like, I feel like when you're a content creator, right? And I get the whole cash cow thing. And again, that's what they do. They milk that, right? I kind of like want to be of the ilk of where, hey, I don't want to be that guy that's going to milk a dead horse. Like, hey, make 3, make a trilogy, but then take a break from it and do something new. Challenge yourself with something new, because then you're stuck with doing Scooby-Doo ideas. You know, I don't want to do that, man.
So they get like trapped in the TV or something, and now they're in the Scooby-Doo world.
Do that, man.
I was like, it's a sweep show. I get it. They trying to do it was just trying to do something different, but it's I mean, I used to watch like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I remember when they did the they went back in time to do the Tribbles episode, and the Deep Space Nine crew ended up on the Enterprise, and they had taken the old footage of the Trouble with Tribbles episode, and then they just kind of and it actually was a good episode, and they did some really good things. It didn't look hokey. It was just, but sometimes stuff like that is like, hey, it's sweeps. You got to do different things. But yeah. I really like shows like Deep Space Nine. But
have you seen? I mean, I know we're talking about like vampires and stuff, and then dark stuff. Have you ever seen the show The Strain?
Yes,
that's a badass show. Like, I only saw the first season. I got the second season. I still got to watch.
It got a little, because they strayed from the source material. If you know how the comic ended, because the comic has a clear ending.
Yeah.
And then they were like, let's keep this thing going. So, but then they tried to bring the ending back, but some of the actors had quit and changed. And so
how many seasons did it last to?
I think they had 4 seasons.
4. I got up to the first 2. I mean, I saw the first one. I loved the first one. Then I bought the second one. I didn't get to watch it yet, but that one I liked.
That first 2 seasons was pretty faithful.
And then the third season dipped out.
And then, because the one guy, he married the other dude, the woman that he was cheating on his wife with or whatever. That actress quit the show, and I think she's on that Queen of the South show, about the Spanish sugar queen or whatever. I can't remember if it's on. I think it's on OWN or whatever that, or WGN or whatever. She's basically she's a Colombian sugar queen or whatever, and gangster shit going on, killing folks. But she was on The Strain, if I'm not mistaken. That's the same actress. But yeah, she was sleeping with the main actor.
Oh, and, that dude.
Yeah,
I remember her now. Yeah. They had a good chemistry. Yeah.
Her character was having an affair with and then the dude's wife found out, and blah blah blah, and that's why his marriage was broke up. Which is that's the same shit that was, because you can get those books on Amazon. It's like a graphic novel.
I read the first one complete. I still have to get the second.
They were very faithful to the material, and then they started straying. The old man is the guy from Game of Thrones. That
I like that dude. I loved his character in Strain. I thought he was like just a disgruntled old dude, but he was just bad. He was a badass though. I like that.
What's his name? I can't remember the Red Wedding. That guy.
Him. I can't remember his name in the Game of Thrones, but yeah, he was good.
Too. He was that dude works a lot, man. That dude's in Harry Potter. He's the groundskeeper in Harry Potter. Remember where they had to kill that griffin and all that kind of stuff? Yeah,
he was the groundskeeper. I love the griffin. I remember he was a groundskeeper.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
I didn't know he was a groundskeeper. Wow.
Yeah, that dude's in a lot of movies, man. And I was like,
he makes his rounds. Oh, you know what another movie he was in? I'm gonna throw you with this one, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, he was in there.
I love that one, man.
He's definitely in there. But I'm trying to think. But yeah, that dude. Yeah, like I said, because I remember I started seeing Game of Thrones, and I said, wait a minute, that's the dude from Harry Potter. Because I went to the theater to watch Harry Potter. He's the groundskeeper for the school, and the grumpy old man. So, and then he played. Man, I can't remember that character's name because all his kids. Walter Frey. That's him.
Walter Frey. Walter Frey. Yes, the bad dude. He was hardcore, man.
But
he was hardcore.
Yeah, as the old man. From the strain that hunts the vampires, I thought that shit was dope, man. I really
that was
really. I feel as a matter of fact, I see you in the chat here. Let me make you a mod in here so you can like drop your link in here if you want.
Oh, cool.
If I can do that.
Yeah, if not, no worries, man. I mean, if you have it up, I'm sure people will see it.
Yeah, it's in the link. The link's in the description. If it's right there at the top, if you want to check out Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, but the book
Walter Frey,
Walter Frey, but then, like I said,
he killed me.
He gets a lot of work, but his it was strange because he was on Game of Thrones and then on the strain at the same time. So I was like, wait a minute, so he's on.
Exactly. That's when I realized it too. Yeah. Watching the strain, I'm like, what? That's the mother freaking that freaking Merc the whole that Merc the Snows at the wedding. That was a scene of scenes, man. Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm rooting for him on the strain, and I'm like hating on him on Game of Thrones.
I was hating him too.
Because but the way some of the special effects for the strain I thought were dope with those little vampire worms and all that stuff. I thought all that stuff was really cool, man.
I think it had like a zombie feel to it, right? Like it was like, okay, there's zombies, but then like it's actually transporting this new type of vampire type virus, and they were I think as visceral as you can get for being a vampire. And then for me, I was losing it when they had the vampire SWAT team. I'm just like, okay, man.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. I'm like, this is what I like with stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I thought the final season, because they had kind of strayed a little bit, but then they kind of brought it back, so that they could finish everything off. I was like, okay. It ended up working out. Because they finally, because they tried to kill the master the first time, and then when they finally were able to kill the master, but what was supposed to happen though, I thought was that all the other vampires were going to die, and then
wasn't that the whole thing though, right? Like they felt like that one would kill or stop everything. That was what their theory was, if I'm not mistaken.
He's supposed to be able. He's like the hive mind. He's controlling all of them. So they didn't die though. When they killed him, he did because he had some kind of worm. He had some kind of master worm inside of him. That whole thing was strange. But like I said, they did kill him. When they killed him, all of a sudden you had the vampires were still alive, but they didn't have anybody controlling them, and they don't have a mind of their own. So they're like all going around, and they were confused, and they didn't know they were like, what do we do now? They know when they're hungry that they can kill somebody or whatever, but they don't know to work together. They don't know they're just wandering around aimlessly. And then if they see something alive, they eat it. And so at that point, the humans could just pick them off. They just take their rifle, pow, pow, pow. Because they don't, it's like literally like a zombie movie. They don't know what to do. They just walking around going.
That's why I liked it, because I think they just did a good fusion of bringing some of that. Like we all could relate to the zombie type of, syndrome, but then like, okay, they're not zombies. What the hell? That ain't working. And it just took it to a new place. I thought that's what I thought, was fresh. I like if you're going to do werewolves, like do something fresh with it, right? Like if you're going to do something that we know, like you got to put a fresh spin on it. And I think they did that well with the strain.
Yeah. It was definitely a different take on vampires. it was definitely a different take on vampires. I thought, like I said, it started off good. It finished okay, but that last season was a little weak for me. A little weak. But you know, I was happy that overall I was happy that I watched the show. So, but yeah, The Strain, I definitely recommend it though. It was a good show. But like I said, once people start quitting and getting back to
ruins the flow.
so that's the thing. That's, you know, especially it's not a network show; it's on cable. So they, you know, and it doesn't have the budget of like a Walking Dead where they can. You know, hell, even on the Walking Dead, they letting people go though. You know, they were like there were a couple of those characters. What the female actress that they got rid of her like last season or whatever. She was trying to get a pay raise, and they was like, "We don't need you. We got like."
You can't demand nothing, man. I'm sorry if you doing The Walking Dead. You just enjoy the time, enjoy the air, you know, the airspace you're getting, and that's it, man. You can't complain about budget or nothing, or you should get paid more. Like you can't. I'm just sorry because you just can't. There's some things you got to know what to do.
And what was it, Rick Grimes' son? When you know he was still alive in the comics or whatever, and they killed him because you know he was going, you know, he was getting older, and
I've been trying to. I've watched The Walking Dead. I think I stopped at like season. I don't know. I think it was season 7. I think so.
Stop watching that show, but I think they're finally going to end it. Although I'm
glad they killed Carl. I just want to get that out there. I just always thought he should have. But people may hate me for that. I'm glad they killed him. I didn't see how. That's how bad. I was like waiting up because I wanted to see how they finally killed him off. I still haven't even got there yet.
Like, because you know they got Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
they're gonna try to
merge them.
Talks of doing another another show set in that universe or whatever, so that you know where they don't have to go with the source material or whatever. So you know, but Robert Kirkman will still get a check. You know?
Oh, for sure. He's a master.
Yeah.
I'll give him his credit. You know, if you make a show and it does good, you know, give you credit. Definitely.
That's a huge. I mean, that show's a huge international hit. He's got to have at least $100-some million now.
No, he's banking. He made the perfect pitch.
Man, you know, and it's like I'm a big fan of Robert Kirkman. I think he's real smart, invincible, and. You
know what? He kind of brought me back into comics. I was so disconnected with comics because of, you know, Marvel, you know, DC doing like, I mean, how many reboots you could do with the same character. And I just kind of got disconnected. So he kind of pulled me back because I'm like, there's hearing about the zombie comic, The Walking Dead. I'm like, oh, really? A zombie comic? And then, bro, that opened Pandora's box and that got me back into reading and enjoying comics all over again, getting me to the point of actually getting back into creating them. So Kirkman, even though when I did my first convention, I met someone who knew Kirkman very well. I mean, high school type friend, very close personal friend, who after Kirkman made his success, who told me that Kirkman just cut him off big time.
Yeah, he just cut all of it.
Yeah, like he's like cut everybody out. This is what the dude told me. But again, I will always have love for Kirkman because he brought me back into comics. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even think I'd be creating them just because – I don't know. I feel like I always like movies. I always want to get something to movies, and comics is a great benchway. But The Walking Dead Kirkman opened that up.
Well,
and for me,
talk about that though, because one thing I've noticed, I ain't even got that much money, and I noticed when I started getting some sales, people I've known for years started changing on me and asking me. They was hitting me up, asking me for money. And
no. You got a book to promote. Yeah, tell them how expensive comics is. Tell them printing. Show them a printing quota. That'll keep them real chill. No, I mean, people like, look, and I get, you know, when you're saying about money and all that, like, hey, there's some people putting out some great books out there on the Indiegogo scene. Monster MD is one that I like. I think Shinobi Sasquatch is another one that I back that I like. Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. And you know, EVS, he built his brand, he built his platform, and a lot of people want to ask him for help. And I get it, but he has a responsibility in that. This is what he does. He was one of the first ones that left kind of the mainstream, did their own thing, and showed you can make a lot of money in this. So he does have a big audience. But you can't you got to understand, like, it's still a lot of money in creating books. And, you know, if you can be fortunate enough to get a profit, you know, hold on to that, be grateful for that, use it to build your little audience and empire. But for people changing on you and hitting you up like that, that's your hard work. You get what I'm saying? Like that's where I feel like I get sad, because I get at people see the outside, they don't see the inside. They don't know the grind that comes with putting out a book.
But like I said, I've known for years, man. They start saying they was like 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. That energy changes. The number keeps going up, and people's like, "Oh man, you got you a little money now." And I was like, "It don't work like that, because all the money's not going to me. I'm having to pay Kanan and all the other people. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I'm just sitting on, in a mansion somewhere."
No, dude. I mean, I know where we come from. I know, where I grew up, shit, excuse my French. 10K is a lot of money, right? 15K is a lot of money. 50, 60, I get it. But when you think about, okay, you're merchandising your brand, brand, even your book brand, right? You're creating something that there's a lot of expenses that goes out with merchandising, with having your websites up, with paying a creative art team. Like I'm sure Kanan, you want to lock him up for a second book. You want to lock him up for another book. You want to keep, so there's a lot that goes on, and people just see that and just think like you're making money, but dude, crowdfunding is not only is it stressful, okay, even if you see money there, you're still paying out a creative team across pages. Whatever Kanan's rate is, times that by 48, 52, whatever you're doing, promo pieces. Like, people don't see that. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But,
it just showed me, though, because like I said, I was like, dude, I've known that dude since I was a kid, man. It's crazy. I don't know, people, like I said, especially when I got that first deposit, and everybody's like, I was like, yo, I got to pay this and I got to pay that. And I was like, but I might have a little left over, but that's for me.
Dude, let me tell you, if you can get to the point where you're making something for yourself as a writer, then that's great. Out of the books that I've crowdfunded, I'm gonna get my profit one day, but I don't go in for the profit. I go in to be able to keep my guys paid, because I know they're going to be putting out a book, and I'm signing off on that, and just to be able to put myself out there for me is good. Now, when you can get to that point where you can make a profit, that's where, hey, much deserved. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you sit on that. Like, that's you. You get what I'm saying? People asking for handouts, I get it. It's just gonna turn the outside noise down a little bit and just be real with people. I get it. Like, I could imagine people come out the woodwork, or even family, if I get to that point. But you guys like, yo, this crap is a business. This costs money, man. You know what I mean? It's not that. I don't know. With people, there's a big misconception with comics. Like, even me creating comics, right? People are like, oh, could I be in your book? I'm like, if I got to draw your cameo in, I get this and that. Okay. I'm like, do you understand the book I'm trying to crowdfund costs this amount? Like, they don't, like, I got to break it down to even my family members. Like, this costs money. This is why I'm crowdfunding. It's not like, I guess in my circle, they don't see the comic as like a big thing. But then when you educate them, like, okay, listen, this is why I need the money. Hey, look, you like movies? You like Netflix? Guess what? You know that a lot of them come from comic books. A lot of movies come from comic books. Like, think of my way is like, think of a comic book as a cinematic blueprint. That's the way I like to see it. So you can visualize something. So guess what? That's a baseline before we're talking to a Netflix for a movie deal, before a brand could be talked about for an Amazon, Prime special or something. What you're doing now is laying the groundwork, and that's amazing. So, if you got a little something that you can put for yourself, chalk that up to a blessing, because that's a good thing, my dude.
All right. So, okay, man, I feel like I can talk to you all day, because you always have a lot to talk about. So this has been good, despite a few technical glitches. But
I'm always here, dude.
But let me see here. I'm actually gonna show. I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna show a page from brand that I just got in.
Let's see this.
And hopefully everyone will enjoy this. And this is
that's nice.
Yeah. And so
the
this
Kid Icarus is the real deal.
Oh yeah, Icarus is killing the game.
Real deal, man. You waited. You did a killing with this guy.
I'm very happy with his work,
man. That's amazing.
But so this is the Hall of Fame. This is when they walk in, and
I love the colors, man.
Yeah, and this is when we start seeing that that Pimp Cane is a little bit more than what it was.
Mm.
And I mean, yeah, and then there's, they got a baby in there. They got, but
Wow.
there's
something you don't see every day. Bringing a baby.
yeah, crazy. So, we got like strippers on poles and all this, and yeah, me and Kane, this young lady here in the back there, me and him had a small conversation about this, but I just man, but I mean, we, like I said, we got through it, and
it hits the point. It hits the point. I mean, it hits it. It captures it. I don't know how you had the scene originally. I don't know if the breasts were above water or below water, but I'm just saying, like, he put an artistic touch to it.
Well, I mean,
it hits it.
Let him know, it's supposed to be, hey, they walk in and they see, he's a pimp, so they're in there gambling. So you see, they in there gambling and drinking, they got craps tables and stuff. People over here, you see people over here playing cards, and there's I told him I wanted like flat screens, and I love this effect because originally Kanan was gonna like draw these have like football on one TV, do all it was just too much. And he was like, and I talked to Icarus, and he was like, I can add some of the effects in post. So he can, he kind of, I told him, I said, what if I want like a lava lamp effect? So I sent him some pictures and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And as you can see, he went in and really killed it. I mean, this right here, I love this chick here with the that's in the cage there.
Yeah, in the glass. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is her in the foreground, like, and the color work there as well too. I love the contrast between, like, you got this violet hue going on, and then you see like the contrast with the chick in the cage. You got this blue sheen. It's a powerful freaking page.
Yeah.
And it shows the product that you're putting out there, man. This is the top quality work. Like, this is what's going into paying, these dudes to put out this work. This is top quality stuff. This is stuff you ain't going, this is the big dog indie stuff pretty much.
Yeah. Now I've been so happy with all the pages that we've gotten, and, despite, me getting angry at Kanan every now and again, or me driving him crazy. But
Antonio, you got a good thing, man. And Kanan's doing this thing. He's trust me. I get you, because I'm there too as a writer. It's like sometimes you envision something a certain way. It's like, this has to be like, trust me. I get you got the creative, but just make this little bit in there somewhere. Like, I get it. But from what I saw on that page is just beyond exceptional.
Yeah, and so, like I said, I'm really happy with Kanan's work. I'm glad to have him as a partner on this, and looking forward to actually flying him out, because I got to fly him out so we can actually sign all these comic books and ship out to these fantastic back.
That's gonna be awesome. That session is gonna be fun. Make a video session on you guys doing the signing or doing something like. That's gonna be fun. I want to be a part of that one. If you do a show on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's gonna be out cool. Like about a week, and we'll have him. Like I said, we got a couple thousand comics.
Antonio, one question, because I want to ask, because you're at the level where you got to thousands of backers. How the heck do you pace yourself, dude? Because I'm shipping out. When I did Piece of Lead, I had like 100 something. Lair had 100 something. Lair had 200. How the heck? Like, what? How do you pay? Like, do you have any kind of strategy for that?
Well, I've got a couple of friends that I was gonna pay to help.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna pay them to come and help me pack some of these comics up after me and Kanan sign all of them. So.
So you're gonna need some help. In other words, don't attempt by yourself. Don't do it by yourself.
Like I said, I got a print at least 3,000 books, because we got the Santana baby cover, we got the variant. It's just too much. There's too much that we've got the little blank sketch covers. We got a lot of stuff that has to be done. So, it's
nice.
Ooh, good problem to have. Then we're gonna have six. We're gonna have six. Count them, 6 variant covers for Brand Way of the Gun. Nice. So, one of them is in the background here that hanging over my shoulder. That nice. It's a take on the Demi Moore Vanity Fair cover when she was pregnant with I think Rumor. And
the one in the middle there, nice.
Yeah, done by Matthew
Nice
Weldon. We already got the colors on that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to set up. I've been trying to get as much of the pre-prep work done.
Yeah.
So that when Kanan is done, we're on the last. We added those 4 pages. He had to give me the layout. So in the last few weeks, Kanan, we had 13 pages that we sold to backers.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So he's doing the pencils on those, and then he digitally inks it. So he's done 11 of the 13 pages, and he's inked 11 of the 13 pages. Nice. And then he's given me layouts for the last 12 pages of the book. And so now we're, because before we added the 4 pages, we were at 8. So we added, he's knocked out 2 of those. So we've got 10 pages left with, so 2 of them are new pages and stuff. So, but I think when people see it's going to be, like I said, we've got like 4 covers for this one, but like I said, we're going to have 6 covers. So it's a lot of work. So, but I'm glad.
Pay off nice.
But yeah, I'll be glad when it's over, and then we'll launch the next one. And I think we've got some really exciting stuff that I can't quite share yet. But I think people will really get into it. So, whew.
So could I get your take from like I want to say professional opinion, because you've been in this already, in this game, at least creating comics and stuff, and you have a lot of guys that are putting different variant covers out. So you got a lot of range, and you got a lot of different style pieces that are going to be showcasing brand. So like I was trying to get one artist to do a Galactic Rodents, a Mayhem pinup, right? And we had talked, it seemed pretty good. He was even okay with me using his promotional involvement on the campaign. And he's I want to say he's an old school dude. He'd been in the game for a while. And then, out of nowhere, he's just like, man, I can't do this. I mean, I'm having a hard time drawing these capybaras. It's hard. It's this and that. So my whole thing is like, when you get something like that, like what, as like in your expertise, because you deal with a lot of artists doing different pinups of your work, what would you take in that context? Like what is your take on that?
Shit, get another artist. That's just what it is. I would, I'd find somebody else. If it's
but like the sudden change where they're like, yeah, this is good. And this is where I feel like sometimes there's a blowback with the CG stigma, like where they just maybe see something from my past. Again, maybe I'm thinking about this too much, or maybe they really like a real legendary artist really can't draw capybaras. So I don't know. I was just wondering, like, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna try to get someone else for the guest pinup, but like just your take on it from that standpoint.
I mean, like I said, man, sometimes stuff like that's gonna happen, man. You're not gonna be able to, get someone to do what you want, because it could be completely innocent. You might be just reading too much into it. Okay. You never know. So the people that I know that dropped out because of CG, they were very honest with me and let me know. They didn't choose.
I like transparency. That's what it's to the point where I want, like, I don't know. This is where, again, maybe I might be thinking too much, but where I might want to say, like, hey, listen, let's be honest. We all know, you didn't tap out because you couldn't draw a capybara. Like, let's be honest. Can we be, I don't know if I should go that route or just be like, man, I'm sorry I lost you, but okay, cool. Maybe next time.
I mean, you just maintain and be a professional, because
for sure.
The work already looks exceptional to me. I think you're going to do very well with this campaign. And like I said, it looks fantastic. I'm very happy to have showcased it here on the channel today. But man, it's about time to roll.
And Antonio, let me tell you, to share these 2 hours was amazing. And I think we had the same chemistry last time, where we're just going on, and that's a good thing. So, whenever you
talk, man, I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I have people come on and they can't. I was like, so tell me about your book. Yeah, I had this idea.
Nah, man, I'm not that person. We can talk. We have a good rapport, dude. Anytime if you're gonna do something as far as just talking about just movies, if there's a movie that came out that you saw, you just want to shoot the breeze a little bit, invite me on. We'll talk. It won't even have to be about pushing any book. It could just be about shooting the breeze, because I kind of miss these talks, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I'm just being real, man. I do these to my channel, and the reason I work and try to build an audience is to have. That's one of the things that Ethan told me to do, like build your channel up. So he said, so you will be able to do well whether I'm streaming or not. Because what I see happening now is that people are just waiting for Ethan to notice them and get on. And you see something like how Sweetcast did his. He just kept building his channel, and that first day, man, he had like 13 G's right out the rip, and never before Ethan even let him come on.
No, that dude Sweetcast, I think, is he a photographer or something? He got some know-how. I don't know how. He's a savvy dude.
Well, I'm just saying, Clint's good people's, man. I mean, he was real smart how he set himself up. So yeah. I really respected that hustle. I was like, man, that's all right.
Yeah,
man.
He got 4K subscribers, and I caught a video of him. And my cousin of all people was like, "Hey, there's these dudes talking really cool about Galactic Rodents of Mayhem," and he sent me the link, and it was Sweetcast at the tail end of one of his streams. Him, Vaughn, and some two other people, Brendan and Scott Doorkickers. They were just talking like nice things about Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. I was like, dude, I almost had a tear come out, because it was just cool to see your peers acknowledge just good hard work. So I'm never going to try to just see what worked for him as far as building the audience. Because at least for me, it's hard because I work and I got the family. And then it's like I literally do my videos in a car while I'm driving home from work, because that's a little pocket of time that I got. So I'll probably just capitalize on that.
I mean, if you look at especially early, your boy Zach, he was always in the car or something. You know what I'm saying? He was he'd be waiting to pick his kid up or something. He'd be like, "Hey, everyone, it's your boy Zach."
I think that's what I think I'm on the your boy Zach strategy as far as just doing it because that's all I got right now until I get to the point where I got my little office. When you graduate to the office. Right now, we don't got enough room for an office, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
But yeah, I like to set I'd like to set up like a mega stream with some of you guys, because like I see Brian Christgau in the chat. You got the 6-gun gorilla on Indiegogo.
Oh yeah, that's a good. I saw that one too. That was pretty cool. I love Western with them with the gorilla in there. Forget about it.
Yeah, that shit was dope. So, yeah, I'd like I'd like to get you and like Mandy Summers, Ward the Wizard. Get a couple people. Yeah. Just kind of bullshit around and make a stream like that. I'd like to do something like that. But
sometimes bullshitting around is where just good stuff happens. So
yeah, just have fun with the chat, man. That's what I like, man. Everybody just fall in and we just all talking about geek shit. That's what this is,
geek
man.
Culture for sure.
I'm not trying to purify anybody. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to have fun and just talk about positive, man. That's all. That's what got me into this, man. I'm just trying to be positive and just do it like that, man. So
keep it going. Yes, sir. Antonio, thank you again for the time, brother. I appreciate it. Looking forward to the next talk. Looking forward to see more of the brand updates, and keep doing your thing. And if that mega stream comes on, you know where I'm at. We'll make it happen.
Well, let me before we hop off, let everybody know how they can reach out to you. Let them know why they should back Galactic Rodents of Mayhem.
No doubt. Guys, the reason to back Galactic Rodents of Mayhem is not for me. It's just to give a paycheck to my artists and to my creative team, right? But on another flip note, the good thing is, if you're looking for something fun in comics, if you're looking for pretty much Saturday morning cartoons, that goodness, that joy, literally wrapped up in comic book form, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, it won't let you down. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mixed with Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, but with bounty hunter capybaras. It's definitely fresh stuff inspired by the good old stuff. And with all that color and pop, you're definitely going to have a gritty story underneath. There's going to be some blood spilled. You're going to love these characters. It's going to be definitely something special, guys. So check it out. We got a theme song. We even got a Star Wars opening crawl. We got a lot of love in this project, a big passion project. We're grinding out, trying to make 15K, and that's just for the art and the printing. So thank you, guys. Thank you again, Antonio, for putting me on this show. I appreciate talking geek stuff with you. It's the best.
All right. Yeah, man. Like I said, Gilbert, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was definitely I think this could be a big project.
Thank you for having me.
I know Ethan's looked at it a few times. I think if hopefully we could, he'll help you out and have you on or something, just because I just think people need to see it. More people see it, man. Because like I said, everything, the layout, everything you got set up, it just looks super professional.
Here's one thing. I'm gonna, like I said, I know I gotta take things very slow, and especially with EVS, but he has tweeted me out, which I thought was cool. I did a retweet like Mayhem Monday, and I retweeted it. He actually retweeted it out. He said, "Good luck on the campaign," which I thought was cool. I was able to catch his little birthday stream. I gave him a little nod, a little super chat. I said, "Hey, 45 years young, over 20 years of that in the industry. That's amazing. That's not you don't sleep on it. That's a powerful pedigree right there." Yeah. And then I said, thank you again for that retweet. And I said, "Hey, what do you think about a Grom, Cyber Fraud crossover?" Just to throw it out there. And he actually said, he's like, "I like the idea of putting his characters out in other stuff." So he
actually let me and Kanan use Cyber Frog on a T-shirt.
Nice.
Brand Cyber. It's actually the only licensed Cyber Frog shirt on Amazon.com.
Damn, dude, that's high praise. Awesome, bro.
All his merchandise is on Crypto Fashion. So
nice.
If you actually Google, if you type in Cyber Frog on Amazon or Amazon UK, our shirt should
pop up.
Yeah, it should. It'll come up with. I mean, the Cyber Frog because I think they got some graphic novels or something up there. But our merch, our shirt will actually show up in the search, which is awesome. So
that is nice.
But Gilbert Deltrez, thank you so much, man. I think this book looks fantastic. Just keep hustling, man.
That's it, bro. It's to get the comic book hustle on, no doubt.
And I know you, like I said, you've backed you've had 6 campaigns so far or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sporadic. I had 4 on Kickstarter, and this is 3 on Kickstarter. This is 3 on Indiegogo. No, 4 on Kickstarter, 3 on. Well, Grom my third. Put like this: if this succeeds, I have the lucky 7th campaign funded. So that'll be the 7th one. Yeah. So
there you go, man.
I'm a grinder.
I definitely think this one looks good enough to get there, man. And I know a lot of people saw Layer and they thought it was just dope, man. So that's what it hooked me in. So I wish you much success with this project, man. I think you're gonna do something with it, man. So
hopefully, brother. I appreciate the well wishes. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you so much for having me on and sharing some time. Spending 2 hours with someone is a good thing. So thank you for opening up the door.
Well, all right, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up.
All right, later.
Reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel. Everywhere is at Akari Press. And if you type in AkariPress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kanan White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. The links to those are in the description. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. It's live on Indiegogo. Go get that. It's hot. I'm out.
Later.